Streaming. Okay, say that again.
Just say what again?
What
A lot
you
of
just
good
said.
news.
Yeah.
A lot of good news I just read in the last 24 hours. Oh my God.
Really? There is? I'm acting as though you
yes.
didn't say that before we went live. Is it convincing?
It's very convincing.
Wow. Tell us, Ben.
Matt Cardona is the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, I guess even NWA's slumming it.
Hey.
I'm kidding. I like Matt Cardona. I respect his work ethic and I respect his hustle.
The one belt that that I love. Let's go back to the episode with Hazard F5. We had the argument on there that I love the 10 pounds of gold.
I love what it represents. I love what it represents. I just think it's kind of ugly. But I get why they haven't changed it.
Right.
Or at least not lately, because I know obviously it's not the original, but
well, I mean, to a degree. But even then, it's yes. And the way they built it up and everything was good to this show that they just had last night. And way Matt Cardona has been especially doing, not just with the NWA or GCW and everything else. When he says that the WWE was his developmental,
I mean that's true.
I mean it's like that's I was like, okay, I get that now.
Oh, 100%. Because a lot of these people that like started out in the WWE system, emphasis on starting out, then they go somewhere else, and they're for the most part they're usually set.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, he's distracted by something else.
Give me that.
If you go, okay.
Give it. Good dog.
Oh.
She just randomly grabbed one of my shoes, and I'm like, you have no good intentions for that. And she doesn't normally do that.
And I also just read not last night. I also just read right before we went on the air and just met up with you that I don't know if you've heard of. Have you ever heard of House of Glory?
Yes. That's where Private Party was before they got signed to AEW.
Okay. Well,
and didn't T-Pain buy it? Was it T-Pain?
I don't know.
Somebody bought it. I want to say it was T-Pain, but I could be wrong.
Well, it's going to be crap. I know they got a team name.
It's going to be crap.
No, not crap at all. Sorry.
I got it. Creative Wrestling Association. They must be moving to Pennsylvania.
No, it's going to be the Lucha Brothers.
Oh.
Against the Briscoe Brothers.
Ooh.
So I can't wait for...
That'll be good.
I can't wait for that to come out.
If only there
was
If only there was another promotion that has television weekly where the Lucha Brothers currently wrestle. I mean, if only. Oh, wait.
You're right.
Come on,
but
TK.
We all know. Yeah, TK.
Instead, we get the main event on Rampage of Jurassic Express and the Ass Boys.
Hey! You said it. Said it.
I never said I wouldn't be the Ass Boy. I wouldn't say the Ass Boys.
Oh, okay. Because the Guns, they don't like. Hold on. The sons of the Ass. The sons of Mr. Ass. Yeah. They don't like that name, but.
Oh, they hate it so much that they say it on Twitter more often than anybody else.
Yeah, according to Danhausen, makes them the money. Their monies.
Yeah, no comment on that. Anyway.
Well,
what other good news we got?
Well, okay. Did you see that it's official now?
What? Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about Danhausen.
We called that shit months ago. I said as soon as he got out of his contract, he would be in AEW.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, what about?
You see who he's aligned with now.
Oh, yeah, the best friends. Again, that's...
Well, we didn't know for sure. Oh, I mean, just
I figured as much. Which I don't agree. Their stable's too big.
I'm not disagreeing with that either.
I understand putting Wheeler Yuta with them because it's going to help him get over, and it has helped him get over. But Danhausen doesn't need to get over.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with that either. But right now, he can't really wrestle.
I get that. So, but here's the thing, and this is just my opinion. This is just me talking. How I would have handled Danhausen, because I would have, again, even if he's injured, I would have wanted to get him on TV as soon as possible. And that says a lot because, as you know, I'm not a big fan of Danhausen. I don't really get it, but I get that he's money.
Right.
So I would have him be doing vignettes. Just get him on TV.
Well, right. But you know how AEW is.
Yes.
Okay? And you know that as soon as they vignettes don't last long.
Unfortunately,
okay?
Yes.
I'm not saying just AEW. I'm just saying anywhere. Vignettes don't last long. As soon as you start seeing vignettes, you got to get them on TV. I take that back. I apologize. Vignettes do last long when it comes to Veer Manhan.
I was just going to say, unless you're Veer.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, is this a joke? I feel like it's a joke. Like, I've literally been seeing shit about this guy coming to Raw for, I think, legitimately 6 months.
But he's been on Raw already. That's what's weird.
Then what the fuck are we doing?
He was aligned with Jim.
Oh, I know he's been there already. I mean, when this whole thing started with Veer's coming back, Veer's coming to Raw. First of all, who gives a fuck? And second of all, where is he? Did he get lost? Does he not know? Does he not know that it's in a new city every Monday?
No, he's just been on Main Event.
Oh, good God!
People have been posting pictures of him on Main Event. That's funny.
You know, if it was anybody but WWE, I'd be surprised. But honestly, like, this is par for the course.
So, but like I said,
we got this guy. It's good shit, and we're gonna make him wait for a year. What's this guy's name again?
As if you don't die within that year, Vince.
Maybe he's hoping that he'll miss the debut.
I apologize, Vince. You got a great mind, a great work ethic, and
had.
Hold on. Before I get into Vince, I understand why they put Danhausen with Wheeler and Orange Cassidy and all that, because it's the comedy group. I get it. There's no other comedy group in AEW but them or Jurassic Express. Okay. But the only other group I thought that they would put him with, but then again, Danhausen is still injured. The only other group I figured I'd see him go with would be Sting and Darby.
I think I don't remember if I said that or you did. It's like, that's the place. But again, Danhausen is another person that, I mean, does he really need a stable? I understand that it can work for him, but to me, I just think it would have been better to have him be solo for at least a little while.
But we all know, but then again, we all know that doesn't work.
What do you mean it doesn't work?
You're automatically put. Okay, Punk, even though he's alone, he's technically in a faction with Sting and Darby.
Which, again, I don't think is necessary. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I don't think it's necessary.
So why does Japan have all these factions?
I don't know. Again, I don't think it's necessary for everyone to be in it. Like, Bullet Club, I get. Los Ingobernables, I get. Chaos, maybe when it started. Now I don't get it. Because, like, it's a very loose affiliation. And now it includes the best friends, so now it's even bigger. And now, theoretically, it includes Danhausen, because he's allied with the best friends.
Well, I've looked it up, and he's technically not over there yet.
Not yet, just because he hasn't been in a New Japan ring yet, at least not to my knowledge. Not as this current incarnation, anyway. I don't know. Has Danhausen ever been wrestling in Japan?
No.
I didn't think so.
I know he tried. I know he made a funny video of Lance Archer, and when Lance Archer was the United States champion, and he was trying to challenge for it, but never came to fruition.
See, I feel like Danhausen would be super over in Japan.
Especially with the tequila.
I mean, just show up.
Well, right, but I'm just stating.
I think you get super over if Danhausen learned how to speak Japanese and just showed up in Japan and was just like starts cutting a promo in Japanese with the Japanese audience.
Like, Arr!
Exactly.
I'm not going to make fun of the Japanese language. I'm not.
Oh, no, I'm just saying. Like, I think you get super over on Danhausen, buddy. Duolingo's free. Plus, you got access to Kenny Omega now. So.
It's true.
And who can help you with the learning of said language. And then you're on the same roster as Shida. Riho's there sometimes. Michael Nakazawa's there. Yeah, you got a lot of resources, bud. Just think about it.
It's true.
Just think about it. Anyway, Royal Rumble. We were half right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we were about 50% right in our predictions.
You and I were texting the whole time during that pay-per-view. It's like, what the fuck?
I will admit, I started watching it late. I missed the first match and the very beginning of the Women's Royal Rumble. But anyway, I guess the first match was Seth F. Rollins versus
the Shield.
Roman. Oh, I missed the entrance. I guess it was pretty cool. Doesn't really make sense, but sure.
Well, it's just to get in his head.
Yeah, I know, cheap pop.
Because he's been, and I've said this, and I said this to friends of mine. He was the Shawn Michaels of this feud, and I always say that, and I know everybody would probably disagree with me on this, but
I see where you're coming from.
But when Hogan came back that year, 2005, him and Michaels and Hogan were a tag team. They were essentially a tag team. And then there was the whole sweet chin music to Hogan, yada, yada, yada. Michaels is a heel going into their match, and yada, yada, yada. Match is over. Hogan wins. Hogan goes off. And then he starts turning back into a face again. Like, okay. Now, same thing with Seth Rollins. So, it's the same thing.
Except now he's a heel again, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Aligned with Kevin Owens.
Yeah, and that whole thing. Now, granted, I did watch Raw this week, and I'm like, I don't get it because it's obvious that at some point Seth's gonna turn on Kevin, and they're gonna do something at WrestleMania because like it's obvious,
right?
Because Kevin's all like, "Wait, why can't I have a WrestleMania match?" It's like because you haven't qualified for one, dipshit. Like, you know how this works. But obviously they're going to do something at WrestleMania, and it's probably going to be because they're not going to let him have a good match because we wouldn't want to overshadow Roman and not make him look strong.
Well, and their match before was pretty good.
Pretty good. But we both know what you're talking about, Owens and Rollins.
Yeah, but that was when it was the empty arena. Correct,
but what I mean is like they can have a fantastic match on demand. What I'm saying is that WWE won't let them.
I know.
You could put Rollins and Owens in a ring and say, "Hey guys, give us a 5-star match," and they'll give you one. But you can also say, "Hey guys, give us a 2-star match," and they'll give you one. And they're gonna go out there and guys, give us about 3. Which with a lot of people who have been in WWE, a 3-star match, hey, great. But with those two, they're capable of so much more. It's kind of like Styles and Nakamura. It's like you can put them out there and they'll tear the house down on demand. But I suspect what happened is like, hey guys, we need a really good match, but don't do that Japanese shit.
That's right.
And that's how we got their WrestleMania match, which was good, but it's nothing compared to what they've done before. And we know they can do it because it wasn't that long ago.
I know.
It's not like they came out of retirement. It's like we know what they can do. I just don't understand. Well, I understand, but it makes no sense to not let them do it. You know, if it makes your main event look bad, then should that be the main event? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, so it looks like Seth won the match via DQ. But obviously, since it was DQ, he did not win the title. So this was a match. This was to fill up space.
Then after the match was over, he got the crap beat out of him by a steel chair.
I mean, this match, and this is what annoys the piss out of me about WWE right now, because this match was literally just so we could have Roman on a pay-per-view. But obviously, we can't do anything with it because they need Roman to stay champion.
This whole pay-per-view was a way to fix Roman's mistake.
Precisely. That's fantastic way, and that's why it was You know, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't.
I was going to say this now. I'm not saying it was Roman's fault.
No, he got COVID. There's nothing he can do about that. But what I'm saying is what WWE does and what AEW doesn't do as often. I mean, they've done this before, but AEW, when something like that happens, generally speaking, they'll roll with the punches and still come out with something really good. It's like, yeah, it kind of sucks we couldn't have this match, but shit happens, so we adapt and we still give the audience something great. On this one, they're like, oh, son of a bitch, we can't have Roman not be on the pay-per-view. So just throw him Rollins, as opposed to, and again, it's the pre-show. This is a fucking pre-show. It says it was it said it was the pre-show.
No, there was no match on the pre-show.
Oh no, I'm wrong. That's correct.
That was literally opening match.
But it's the opening match. So you have arguably your highest champion in the opening match in a throwaway match.
Oh, but when they announced the thing and all that, the commentators did say that it's either he has to be first or he has to be main event.
So why wasn't it the main event?
Because the Royal Rumble was the main event.
Okay, that makes sense for the Royal Rumble, but still should have been the second to last match. Just saying.
I mean,
I'm a stickler for that though, because it does legitimately annoy me when the heavyweight title is not the main event, with the exception of a gimmick pay-per-view like the Royal Rumble.
Right.
But anyway, so Seth won the match but got nothing for it. So in true WWE fashion, they had a almost 15-minute match and didn't matter.
It was a good match.
I missed it, so I did not see it, but
it was a really good match. It was, hey, go wrestle, have a 4-star match. But yeah, Seth, you're going to win by DQ, and you're not going for the title anymore. Okay, I could do that.
Well, but okay, so my original point that I almost forgot was, if you've got a situation like that, the least you can do is just have Roman get lippy and be like, well, because the way things turned out, you know, WWE has already advertised me, so I guess I have to come out here and just beat the shit out of some nobody. And then you can at least give somebody lower on the roster a chance to shine. Because, like, they're not going to win, but nobody thinks they're going to win. You know what I mean?
I'm not disagreeing with that either, but there was a lot of people, like, that was ready to go for the actual match itself, or Rumble match.
Yeah.
It wasn't used.
100%. Oh, and that was another thing. We'll get into this later, but you pointed this out. There's an awful, or one of us pointed it out. It's like, there's an awful lot of tag teams in here.
Because it was a tag team Royal Rumble.
Well, I mean, yeah, for real. But why? Why are there tag teams in the Royal Rumble?
Because they was trying to use them.
Don't tell me they don't have the roster.
Again.
I remember thinking during the entire Royal Rumble, I'm like, okay, this is stupid. They're not going to win. Why the fuck are they here?
I know.
Like, a tag team's, nobody in a tag team is going to win the Royal Rumble.
Well, we'll get to that point in a minute.
Not a specialized tag team. Because, like, Riddle and Randy Orton, that's different. They're kind of a tag team. Like, they're a tag team right now, but they're not normally tag team wrestlers.
Well, right.
I'm talking about, like, the Street Profits and Alpha Academy and all that
right,
shit.
Right. Women's Royal Rumble.
It seemed like the highlight of the Women's Royal Rumble was the cosplay. At least that's what you would think from social media.
Well, since Sasha Banks came out, I was like, oh, no.
Oh, what are you talking about? They do that all the time.
I know, but I loved her.
I know, it was good. It was good.
I'm like, Sailor Moon? Seriously? I like this.
But hey, settle down over there.
Hey,
settle
who
down.
Doesn't like who? I apologize, but who doesn't like Sailor Moon?
Well, I mean, if you only watch the American version, most people. But
hey, I did.
Hey, no, I'm saying the original's good. It's just the Americans took it and butchered it and turned it into something that was not very good.
From what it's worth, and from what I remember of it, I liked it.
The American version?
Yeah.
Oh, it was the shits. But anyway, and then
again, from what I said.
Again. I gotta stop saying that. I say that too much.
Hey, maybe it's a new shirt.
Again. Anyway,
go ahead.
And then Zelina had a pretty good hospital. Although
she had a really good run.
Itachi. Not Itachi. Madara. That's right.
Oh, I was gonna say she had a really good run in the Rumble.
She overall the match was pretty good. There were some parts that were kind of like, that's a little weird, but for the most part, it was a pretty good match, and there were actual surprises, like that weren't lame. They didn't have any dumb celebrities in the Women's Royal Rumble match. We'll get to that in a moment, folks. I popped big for Mickie James, and they didn't immediately throw her out.
No, and what's funny is where I was at watching it, my buddy was like, I swear, I won't be pissed off if they play hardcore country.
Oh, and they played hardcore country.
Yes, they did. I was like, well, holy shit, they played it. But they didn't call her the Knockouts champion either, or the world champion. They just call her the Impact.
The Impact Women's Champion.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, so technically, I mean, they acknowledged it. That's something. That's progress.
Well, no, like, it's like, it was one of those things, it's like, we'll call you this because you are, this is us making it up. I think that's what it was them making it up to her. What happened?
I think so, to a point. But then here's another thing, and this was only my perspective. If I'd been WWE, I probably wouldn't have wanted to call her the Knockouts title either, because just on the off chance, if WWE fans don't watch Impact, they might not understand what that is. Like, you and I know what it is.
All right, but even then, it's like, just let it call. But here's the thing: just let them call it the Knockouts title.
Yeah, tomato.
Well,
hey, they acknowledged a belt from another company. I'm good.
Well, then she came out with it and everything.
Yeah, she did. Ring. Which that surprised me.
Oh, they let her come out with it?
Mm-hmm. And they didn't even make her throw it in a trash can.
Not funny. There's one person that came out in that Rumble, and she's made her tweets about it and everything, but still, it's like, Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't look like her.
No, she didn't look. I mean, good job, Kelly.
Well,
God,
no,
how long has it been she's been on WWE TV?
she was 25 when
Yeah,
she was gone.
yeah.
Now she's 35.
So 10 years. That's what I thought. I
Yeah,
thought it was about 10 years.
but still, but she hasn't had no surgeries or nothing. She says.
And oh, I don't know that I believe that, but
Well, that's what she's tweeted out and everything. But even then, it's like, huh? That's Kelly. And then the way she got eliminated too, it's like, oh, I'm sure that had to hurt.
yeah, that looked like a minor botch on the part of the landing. Ooh.
And then and then all of a sudden, it's like you keep dwindling down more and more. It's like, okay, when is certain people going to come into the Rumble? And you got to 30. It's like, okay, I'll get back to what I was going to say, but they never showed up. And I picked, who I picked to win.
Yep.
And she didn't show up. Alexa didn't show up. Asuka didn't show up.
Hey, at least my two picks were in the Royal Rumble.
Which were who?
I thought it was either going to be Liv Morgan or Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, and Liv Morgan got eliminated early.
It wasn't too early. She was in there for a while.
No. What's her name was in there? Oh, what's her name? Sarah Logan was in there.
That was cool.
I was like, oh, sweet. Sarah Logan's coming in. And then my friend was like,
what you doing over there, buddy?
What?
Nothing.
Oh, sorry. My friend was shocked because he's like, because not Carmella, Cameron came out.
Oh yeah.
And Sonya Deville was sitting down at the table. She's like, yeah, as soon as Jack comes off, I'm going to be in there. And I'll say, here comes Cameron. She's like, okay. Now I'm going in the ring. She got distracted. She's like, and all of a sudden, here came Naomi right afterwards. I'm like, oh.
I'm glad you brought that up because I almost forgot about that. But can we talk about how dumb it was to acknowledge that you could theoretically get away with doing that?
Vince did.
Well, I know, but here's the thing. Then why would everyone not just stay out of the ring?
Well,
this is the problem. This is another example of wrestling logic. If you're trying to win and that is not against the rules, who's getting in the ring?
She got in the ring because Cameron's a friend of Naomi.
I understand why she got in the ring then, but if you can sit outside the ring legally and you can't be eliminated until you get in the ring, just stay outside the ring. It shouldn't. What I'm saying is it should be in the rules of the match that when you come out, you get in the ring. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But she's just going to pick her fuel and fire and go in when it's necessary time and ready.
I know, but that's the problem with wrestlers' logic because her primary goal was to get under Naomi's skin for some reason. It's like, no, your primary goal should be to win the Royal Rumble.
Tomato?
No. This is tomatoes and fucking grapes.
No, I get what you're saying, sir. I get what you're saying.
Sir.
But you're getting paid to do a job.
I understand that, but we're talking about the
I know.
Fuck, what am I trying to say? We're talking about the work here.
I know. Trust me, I know all about the work.
Anyway, so.
But the winner of the surprising.
Yep.
So.
I was surprised to see her.
The surprising return of Ronda Rousey.
I was disappointed that she won, but.
It was a given she would.
It makes sense, though. Like, because here's the thing. It's like, it may not be the outcome I would have booked, but it makes sense because Ronda Rousey is legit. It makes sense that, what did she come in at, number 30?
No.
She was later. She wasn't number 30, but she was later. It's plausible and likely that Ronda Rousey would win that match based on when she came in.
Well, that and because okay, she left after WrestleMania
Yes.
because she wanted to have kids and stuff.
Yes.
Cool, whatever. But they froze her contract.
Oh, I thought you were about to say they froze her kids. I was like, what?
No, they froze her contract and everything, so she had to still perform
Ah, okay.
on stage. It's like there was somebody else, I forget who it was, that they froze their contract and he had to come back and finish out the rest of his contract. Oh, now I remember who it was. Brody Lee.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that now. So it makes sense of what they're doing with Ronda, because I guarantee they won't be main event at WrestleMania. And if she is main event, it should be night one main event.
Oh, probably.
So
And then before we move on from the Women's Royal Rumble, I'd just like to say something. When are they just going to release Dana Brooke and let her go and be properly used somewhere else?
I mean, I don't know.
Another example of somebody that was, treated super legit in NXT and then almost as soon as she gets to the main roster, she's become like almost a joke.
Yeah.
So can WWE, can you release Mustafa Ali and Dana Brooke, please, and just let them go somewhere else?
Well, she's a champion right now.
That's not a real championship.
To them, it is.
Well, to them, a lot of things are things that they are not. And the 24/7 championship is a fucking joke. And they made it one. Because it didn't have to be a joke. It didn't have to be. But they made it one.
I agree.
But anyway. Next match. Oh, the bathroom break.
Which one?
Becky Lynch and Doudrop.
Which?
Did you see the... you missed the botch.
I had to have.
Oh, you did? Because I texted you about it. So, yeah. Doudrop does a senton onto Becky, but so you know how when you normally do a senton, normally you land with most of your weight towards your lower body.
Off of them, yes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if Doudrop messed up or miscalculated or what, but she dead weight right onto Becky's like abdomen. I mean, like center of gravity, like straight down. And the reason I know it's a botch, so like, would it be taboo? You know about the way the ref legit checks on a wrestler. I mean, I know you do. I'm not going to say it just out of respect, but the ref legit checked on Becky Lynch. I'm just over here just dying because Becky looked like she was in legit pain. And the ref comes over and checks on her.
I felt bad for Doudrop.
How so?
In this whole match.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and I know we've already talked about your opinions on her and everything else, but for Becky to go over in this match, well, technically not even go over, and I know they already did the heel champion finish early in the show.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that would have. I figured that would be a great finish for them, for her to get away. Because I'm sorry, but I know how wrestling is and yada 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 with the whole, wrestling logic thing. She rock bottom her off the second rope.
Yep.
And beat her 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry.
I thought the same thing. I was like, that's a curious way to end this match when logically because spoiler alert, there's a size difference.
Right.
You don't beat Doudrop when you're Becky Lynch's size. You don't beat Doudrop by being able to physically lift her. You beat her with a submission. And Becky has a really good submission.
Or when she was on the second rope, she could have powerbombed her and put her foot on the ropes. 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry. Becky Lynch should not have been able to beat her that way.
I agree 100% because again, you're going into wrestling logic, and I just want to make sure people understand this is not me. I mean, personally, I don't get the allure of Doudrop. Now, in my defense, I have not been watching WWE television steadily, but what I do know is that Doudrop had lost her previous 3 consecutive matches and then got a title shot. That's my issue with her being in this match. Because apparently in WWE, you just fail upwards.
And now she's got another shot at the title in Saudi Arabia.
See, and I disagreed with Liv Morgan getting back-to-back title shots too, and I like Liv Morgan.
But this is in the chamber.
It doesn't matter. Like, if you keep losing, you shouldn't keep getting title shots. It's one thing. Women? Now, okay, so here's the thing, though. Back to your point. If they had done the finish the way you had just said, then, yeah, then it would make sense that there would be a rematch.
Okay, but how many women did they have?
What do you mean?
Did they have enough women to actually... Okay, the thing is, okay, but what I'm saying for the title, not for the title. It's obviously picked. It's going to be Charlotte, Ronda, Mania. Okay, but the chamber match, it's whoever wins the chamber match faces Becky at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why Doudrop is technically back in the chamber.
Well, right, but whose fault is that?
Well, Liv Morgan's in the chamber. Liv Morgan's in the chamber too.
So you're telling me you can have 30 women in a Royal Rumble match, but you don't have what is it, 6 in the chamber?
Yes.
You're telling me you can't come up with 6 legitimate, like.
It goes back to when JBL was champion, and you had Booker T, Eddie, and Taker. Those were 3 contenders for the title, and then Kurt Angle and Big Show also contenders after that. So there's your elimination chamber right there with JBL.
Right.
I'm just using that, if that makes sense. So, plus it's going to be Lita and Becky at Saudi Arabia for the title too.
That's a whole nother can of worms. But anyway, next match, we had the WWE champion, the almighty Bobby Lashley, defending his title. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I fucking gave away the ending. Challenging for the title. Well, I just gave away the ending. So Bobby beat Brock for the WWE Championship, which we fucking called because we know that they want Brock Roman at Mania.
But the finish they did, though, was... Well, he didn't call.
No, but I liked it.
They just need to make up the damn minds on who he's going to be with.
True. I'm entertained when I see Paul Heyman. That's just...
He's the big show of wrestling right now.
Yeah. But anyway, so I gave away the ending. So anyway. And then, as the critical drinker on YouTube would say, oh, I wonder if that will come into play later. It's almost as if 2 guys who did a wrestling podcast said that, something like this was going to happen.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. So then we had the second bathroom break match. And, say what you will about Becky and Doudrop, or I'll say what I will about Becky and Doudrop. This match had no business being on a pay-per-view. This was a middle segment on Raw at best.
Are we talking about the mixed tag team match?
Yes, we are.
Which, up until this point, we probably thought it got canceled.
Yeah, maybe. But here's the sad part. Everyone in this match is better than this.
I don't disagree with that.
Everyone involved in this shit show is better than this.
I don't disagree with that at all. I don't.
So, but anyway, what did they call themselves? The grit
what
couple.
Edge and
Beth.
Beth.
Yep.
Yep.
They beat Ms. and Mrs.
You know what's weird is halfway through the match, I was looking at Beth. I looked at my friend. I'm like, and I'm going to ask you this question. Do you remember when Medusa was in WWF back in the day?
I mean, I wasn't watching back then, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay, Alondra Blaze. Okay. Do you remember a certain Japanese wrestler she wrestled? Bull Nakano.
Nope, apparently not.
Okay, well if you look her up, right, and you look at a picture of Bull Nakano, and then you look at Beth Phoenix, you'd be like, oh my God.
Oh, I'm sure Beth Phoenix was inspired because was she an All Japan girl?
Who? Bull Nakano?
Yeah.
That's the problem is I don't know.
Because I seem to remember Beth Phoenix, it was years ago. I seem to remember Beth Phoenix saying that she was a fan of Japanese wrestling, specifically All Japan women's.
Yeah, might have been.
Because I don't think New Japan ever had a women's division.
No, they don't.
I was going to say.
But her husband did wrestle over in Japan and New Japan, though.
Edge?
No. Talking about Bull Nakano.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, probably.
Kensuke Sasaki.
Oh, okay.
Because he was part of the little Japanese group with Yuji Nagata and Ultimo Dragon.
Yes.
That Sonny Ono had.
Yep.
Sorry. Oh,
I was just going to get on to the real reason why people were here. The Royal Rumble match.
And that's what I said. And before we get into this match, I apologize. I thought that match before, I thought they had canceled it. And I always say that because of how late he was getting.
Yeah. Well, again, that if anything, if they were insisting on this match being on the card, this should have been the opener. Well, I guess I can see why you wouldn't want this travesty to be the first match. It should have been on the pre-show.
Well,
that it shouldn't have taken place at all. But
to the Royal Rumble itself.
Yeah. I'm not really. I thought it was. As Royal Rumbles go, I thought this one was a stinker.
Yeah.
There was too much stupid shit going on. And can someone explain to me?
Not all the stupid shit guys even got to happen, to be honest.
Yeah, some of it got fucked up. Why is WWE? Which I was like, oh, he messed that up. But again, this is what happens when you try to manufacture cool moments. Because the first time it happened was an accident. And it was just cool. And now they're like, oh, we have to do it every time. So now not only is it expected, and then that shit happens, which I could tell, like I knew what he was going for, and I'm like, he's too high. He's not going to be able to do that.
Then the way he landed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was too high. If he'd gone straight over to the guardrail, he probably could have done it. But he was way too high.
I've read a lot of reports and everything after the Rumble. And then he wasn't supposed to be eliminated.
Honestly. No, he was supposed to Spider-Man onto the guardrail, but he was way too high.
Well, that and the outside spots set up with Big E in the match itself for like tag team spots and everything.
That would explain why shortly after that happened, it just seemed to crumble.
Yeah.
Like everybody was just kind of doing random shit. But like, why is Bad Bunny Well, first of all, why is Bad Bunny not being thrown around like a rag doll? But why is he, of all people to do this to, why is he landing Canadian destroyers on Matt Riddle, who is a legitimate fighter? Why?
You want to know why? You want to know why? I'll tell you why.
Why?
Shane McMahon. That's why.
Don't even get me started on that. Well, okay, so yeah. So he completely like buries Riddle, and then Shane McMahon comes in and beats the shit out of Bad Bunny. What the fuck is happening? Now, what was impressive that involved Mr. Riddle was somebody made a mistake. I don't know who it was, but Brock Lesnar catches him in midair and just throws him over like nothing. I'm like, that's a good way to cover a botch, because I mean that looks just incredible.
But Bad Bunny took the F5.
Yeah.
Okay, he took moves early in the match better than Knoxville did.
Okay, Knoxville should not have been anywhere near that match unless he was at ringside.
Okay, well, he was feuding with Sami Zayn.
Why? Just why?
Because it's WWE, they have to have celebrities feud with wrestlers.
Okay, but here's the thing though. So AEW had Shaq, except Shaq performed a lot better than I thought he was going to.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just stating that's how Vince rolls.
Okay, but Johnny Knoxville should have been fine. If you want to do it, it makes no sense for somebody like Johnny Knoxville to be in the Royal Rumble match, because even if he somehow won by a fluke, he's not going to win the WWE title. It's not going to happen.
I know.
I mean, I know David Arquette did, but there were goofy ass rules for that.
Vince Russo did.
Okay, yeah. Well, and look what happened to WCW. But
we love you, Vince.
But Johnny Knoxville should have been a comedy act. He was, but like he should have immediately been eliminated. Immediately.
I know. But I'm saying is AJ does his apologize.
He's fired up.
I'm hulking up, brother. He AJ does his combo, the slaps and everything to Johnny Knoxville, and he just stands there. I'm like, oh.
I saw that and I was just like, ugh. This is why you don't have like Bad Bunny being the exception, because it seems like, granted probably with some help, but it seems like he at least, executes what he's supposed to do properly.
Well, he didn't have that bad of a match last year.
I will admit.
Even though it was a tag match, but yes.
I mean, obviously he had help, just like I would have to have tremendous help if I was ever to step foot in a wrestling ring, because I could not be relied upon to execute without a lot of aid from the trained professionals. But Bad Bunny did well. I just don't understand why he was booked to be there. But in terms of what he did in the ring, he did all right. Knoxville just no-sold AJ Styles.
Yes.
And if I'd been AJ, well, no, probably not, because he would have gotten in trouble. But in the old days, AJ would have clocked him, like legit. Like just give him a smack. It's like, okay, you're not going to sell for me. And I wonder if Knoxville was told, hey, you need to sell. Like you need to, because I don't want to hurt you, so you need to sell this. Otherwise, I'm going to have no choice but to slap the shit out of you.
Right. But of everything he's done in his life,
you would think he could take it.
No, I agree. But you know what I do find funny though, because we're talking about AJ. Going back to the women's rumble, what did Michelle McCool do?
Did she do it? I don't know. I must have missed it.
She did it at Styles Clash.
Oh, that's right. She did.
So it's like,
she should have done a tombstone though.
He should have done one.
Oh yeah. Actually, yeah,
That'd
you're
been
right. He
funny.
should have. That would have been
That'd been
funny.
funny.
That would have been funny. For him to just do a tombstone out of nowhere.
But getting to the end, we know who wins the Royal Rumble. Mr. Brock Lesnar.
Why would you? Was he number 30?
Yes.
Why? That's just not fair. I'm
Yes.
sorry. That's just not fair.
And then you had the hometown hero. Didn't even get a good spot to be in the match.
I think that led. I think that was because some of the earlier aforementioned botches. Because I bet they had some stuff planned.
Talking about Randy?
Yeah.
Well, what's funny, I don't know if you read about it, but what's funny is I read that Brock wasn't supposed to win.
Yes, he was. I don't buy that for a second.
You don't buy that for a second, huh?
No. The way they set it up, it was obvious that Brock was supposed to win.
Why? Okay. I know they had to fix day one's mistake.
Yeah.
To get to where Riddle. To get to where Brock went for the title. I get that. But who's as much as I'd love to see Kevin Owens win it or Seth win it, who
He's hot. He's hot. He's angry.
sorry. Who's one of the most over people right now in WWE?
I don't know.
Matt Riddle.
Why?
Everybody loves him.
Why?
I mean, they just do.
Because they.
And
well, I'll tell you why. Because they took somebody who was legit, a legitimate badass, and turned him into a stoner moron. And now people are like, "Oh, I love Matt Riddle. He's dumb like me."
that's RVD 2.0.
They wish. He could be. He could be. That's the tragedy of it all. Is he could be RVD 2.0. But instead, they emphasize the stoner and less the badass. Because the reason RVD was cool is because he could back it up. And he didn't need to be all like, because he was like, I don't give a shit, man. I'll just kick you in the face. But Riddle's just like, hey, man, I thought I saw Scooby and the gang going by. And I was like, whoa, bro, that's a pretty sweet van. I sure would like to roll up a doobie in there and smoke it with the dog. Hey, Randy, can you teach me how to not be a fucking idiot tomorrow?
But he's been trying to, though.
Whoa. And it's a shame because Matt Riddle's better than that.
Well, from what I've been reading, they've been trying to lead up to Randy Riddle and Mania.
Then you should have had Randy eliminate Riddle in the Royal Rumble.
Well, things got changed.
I noticed.
Because Randy, because they're trying to get what I read, and this is just from what I've read though, is they wanted Randy to win the Rumble. Okay. But then he's like, no, I don't want that. I want Riddle to go. And now everybody's like, now everything else I've been reading, now they want them to fight in Mania, but it should be for the title.
Did you read this on What Culture by chance?
No.
I was gonna say, because if What Culture writes it, it's bullshit.
No, not World Culture.
Squared Circle?
Nope.
Inside the Ropes?
Nope.
Don't know.
Nope. Oh, don't know. Sorry. NoDQ.com is what I.
Oh. Okay.
What? Aaron Rift is very knowledgeable on his sources, and so is Sean Sapp.
Never read anything from them that turned out to be legit, but
Well,
I must have missed it.
but yes,
That was the Royal Rumble, folks. Was it worth the $4.99? Yeah. Yeah, it was worth the $4.99.
the WWE special
Yeah, yeah, the WWE special. It did, honestly. The best way I can describe it is it felt like it felt like an above average episode of Raw.
Right. That's what it was.
Tis it is. Well, sir, I have to wrap this up, but we covered the Royal Rumble.
Cover the Rumble, yeah. Talked about a few other things.
Talked a little bit about the future of AEW.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do follow us and everything, and you do know that I wrestle, you do know I wrestle for XCW.
He does.
Links is always in the description for the YouTubes. We are about to start the season back up in a month, and we just had our first show back. Well, technically our second show back this year, but it's our first big show back yesterday as of this recording. It's called Cold Day in Hell. Please keep your eye out for it and everything else. Check it out.
It'll be on the YouTube, correct?
It will be on the YouTubes. So please go ahead and keep an eye out for it. Especially our other channel, which is the XTW exclusive channel with a X, not an E, for exclusive.
Oh, exclusive.
Yeah. So just please keep an eye out for that stuff and everything. You see me going for the XCW title for a Cold Day in Hell and an ultimate submission match.
Ooh, you gonna put him in the chicken wing?
I did a lot of stuff. Especially get injured.
But did you win?
That's for them to find out when they do watch.
I thought I was gonna slip. What are you doing? Chill. I thought I was gonna make a trip up. Anyway. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for enjoying another episode of Down the Middle. We hope that it is now in your single digits of your favorite wrestling podcasts. And if not, you can kiss my ass. If you enjoyed this show, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and tell all your friends about it, whether they like wrestling or not. Because if they don't like wrestling, we'll make them like wrestling. We mean that. And you can support the podcast just by checking it out on the YouTube. If you missed the live stream, we're live every other Sunday, around 12:30-ish. Usually go for at least an hour. I know you have something about the next Sun, so we'll get to that.
Okay, sorry.
But you can support the podcast by checking us out on the YouTube, and if you prefer your audio only means, you can check us out on Anchor.fm, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Now, and there's some other ones that are out there, but their names escape me at the moment. Also, check out our official merchandise store. Link is in the description. You can get what?
I can't hear you. Amazon Music.
I thought I said Amazon Music. Amazon Music. Listen to us there.
Sorry.
Shit. And then, as Ben just said, check out the XCW official YouTube channel and watch our man fight his heart out for the XCW heavyweight title. I'm pulling for you, buddy.
Red Bull for the boat. Anyway,
you said something about the next podcast date, which would be the 27th, but I have a feeling it's going to be different.
Yes, it's going to be, if you're fine. I don't know how your schedule is that day.
I'm probably fine with it, but.
Okay. I have to work my shoot job early in the day that day, 7 to 3.
Okay, so it just needs to be later.
Yes.
Okay.
So
no problem.
So anytime that day, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 o'clock is when we're going to be doing the next episode, probably about 4-ish.
Probably, but if you subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell, you'll get notified when we go live anyway, so you won't miss it.
You're right.
So you should totally do that.
Yeah.
We'll make sure it's a good episode, so you won't want to miss it.
Oh,
no, I don't know jack shit. We're just gonna have to do something.
Okay.
Anyway, that's all we've got for today. Go away now.
See you later.
Oh. I almost ended